my therapist says it's a problem, but I do look at that movie as a comedy, and that's a me problem, I know that.
Hollywood may never have fully accepted her, but that never stopped Gabourey Sidibe. In an industry where women's beauty standards are often narrow and unforgiving, she has faced insults, stigma, and even become the butt of jokes since her breakthrough role.
Oh, sorry.
You idiot. Oh, these are real.
Now she's undergone a transformation so remarkable, it's leaving everyone shocked. What makes Gabourey Sidibe's change so extraordinary? Let's dive into the details. Living life on her own terms. For years, Gabourey Sidibe endured harsh remarks, industry bullies, and closed doors due to her appearance. But now, she is stepping into a whole new chapter of her life, and she's not holding anything back about it. The Empire star, who rose to fame with her unforgettable role in Precious, is opening up about everything, from weight loss surgery to her struggles with depression, anxiety, and bulimia. In her memoir, "This Is Just My Face, Try Not to Stare," the decision to go for laparoscopic bariatric surgery wasn't made lightly. Gabby and her older brother Ahmed were both diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and she was constantly worrying about the long-term effects, losing toes, and all that scary stuff. After trying for over a decade to lose weight naturally, she went under the knife in May 2016. The surgery cut her stomach in half, which meant she would naturally feel less hungry. Her brain chemistry would change, and she'd be more inclined to eat healthier. Gabby stressed that this wasn't the easy way out, and she isn't cheating herself. The surgery was a tool to help her reach results she couldn't have gotten otherwise. Since the procedure, Gabby has made big changes to her lifestyle. She works with a nutritionist, keeps a regular fitness routine, and has fun with movement, swimming, and even riding a tricycle around the Empire set. It's not about looking a certain way. It's about living comfortably and fully in her body without being limited by pain or worry. But this journey isn't just physical. Gabby has been dealing with mental health challenges since she was 6, including depression, anxiety, and bulimia, made worse after her parents split. Therapy and self-reflection have helped her build a healthier relationship with herself and her body. She made it clear that the surgery wasn't about looking beautiful for anyone else. It was about being able to move, walk in heels, do a cartwheel, and enjoy life without pain. Gabby's approach is so grounded. She knows her beauty doesn't come from a mirror or a dress size. For years, she fought with her body, often harshly, but now she sees it as a source of strength. Her self-worth comes from within, not from outside validation, and that's a big part of her story. 10 months after the surgery, Gabby is still setting goals for herself, working toward them step by step, and keeping her personal journey private when she needs to. Even with surgery, Gabby had to confront the habits and mindsets that had long challenged her. She admits that she still obsesses about eating, her body, and her weight, sometimes to the point of fear, but she's learned to trust herself more. One of the biggest shifts was managing her relationship with the scale. She went from weighing herself multiple times a day to checking in only every couple of weeks. Adjusting her diet has been a key part of Gabby's transformation. Immediately after surgery, she was on a strict liquid diet while her stomach healed. As she progressed, she moved to smaller, nutrient-dense meals, eating about 5 times a day and using carefully planned meal plans, especially for busy days on set. Gabby also cooks more and stays in regular contact with her nutritionist. Dr. Prado Wright highlights that Gabby's approach, small, consistent, and balanced meals combined with regular activity, is much more effective long-term than any crash diet or quick fix. Exercise has also become a major focus. Gabby works out with a personal trainer 3 to 4 times a week, and she stays active on her own as well. Swimming, riding a tricycle around her LA home, or even taking laps around the Empire set in Chicago all count toward keeping her body moving. She uses her Apple Watch to track activity and is committed to staying as active as possible. This consistent effort has not only helped her lose weight, but also strengthened her body, giving her mobility and confidence she didn't have before, and she's no longer worried about the severe health consequences of diabetes that once loomed over her. But here's the real question. Did her choice to go under the knife come from years of being bullied and boxed in by the entertainment industry, or was it purely a personal decision, one made on her own terms, untouched by other people's expectations and beliefs? Let's check out some of the issues she endured from the very first time she appeared on screens. An unlikely rise. She was just a student trying to earn some money for college when life suddenly changed in the most unexpected way. One Monday, she skipped school to audition for a small movie called Precious. By Tuesday, she was called back to meet the director, Lee Daniels. By Wednesday, she had landed the part. Fast forward a few years, and there she was, sitting at the Academy Awards, competing in the same category as Meryl Streep. It was the kind of story that seems ripped straight from a Hollywood fairy tale. Gabourey's performance in Precious stunned audiences and critics alike. She effortlessly transformed from her own joyful, vibrant self into a heartbroken and struggling character. Her ability to navigate such extremes on screen spoke to a rare authenticity, one that captured the attention of the industry and earned her a place at Hollywood's most prestigious stage. Even though Sandra Bullock ultimately took home the Best Actress award, Gabourey's impact was undeniable. Yet from the start, audiences and critics alike struggled to separate the actress from the abused teenager she portrayed. Even before the film's release, pieces in the New York Times and The Guardian insisted that she was not the character, that she was in fact a natural performer with no direct parallel to the troubled girl on screen. Still, it seemed impossible for many to believe it. This scrutiny followed Gabourey onto every red carpet and into every interview. Observers questioned not only her performance, but her very presence among Hollywood's elite. At festivals like Sundance and Cannes, she was treated differently from other rising stars. Without the resources for a professional stylist, she shopped for herself, picking prom dresses from Torrid while her co-stars were outfitted in full designer cocktail attire. Her choices, driven by practicality and self-expression, were quietly critiqued by those who couldn't reconcile her talent with her unconventional appearance. As awards season approached, Hollywood's watchful eyes intensified. Lionsgate paired her with stylist Linda Medvine, but their collaboration was awkward. Medvine seemed more focused on showcasing her own work than understanding Gabourey's style, while the industry buzzed with headlines debating whether her body could ever fit the mold of a Hollywood leading lady. Discussions about problem areas and complexion circulated under the guise of fashion analysis, leaving Gabourey's size and race under relentless scrutiny. Even as she wore a rich blue Marchesa gown with elegance and poise, commentators dissected her every choice, proving that talent alone wasn't enough to escape the judgment of onlookers. The scrutiny extended beyond appearances. Despite her Academy Award nomination, commentators questioned her career's trajectory, speculating about the roles she could or couldn't play. Howard Stern claimed she would never act again. CNN asked if talent could outweigh size in Hollywood. Others framed the issue as racial bias, noting that her being black, not just plus size, contributed to the skepticism she faced. Through it all, Gabourey remained unapologetically herself. However, how long someone stays unaffected in an industry designed to break her spirit? Under Hollywood's judging gaze. For years, she has faced one judgment after another, standing under the intense scrutiny of people who couldn't stop looking down on her. Even after earning accolades and landing a Best Actress nomination at the 82nd Academy Awards, questions swirl around whether the industry is ready to embrace someone like Gabourey Sidibe beyond the role that made her famous. It isn't just about talent, it's about fitting into a world of preconceived standards. And so many eyes are constantly assessing her, silently deciding what she can and cannot do. From the moment she first appeared in Precious, the world couldn't help but notice her presence. The judgment wasn't subtle. It came in waves, from casting directors to critics, all measuring her against an unspoken Hollywood ideal. Many assumed that a young African-American woman of Gabourey's size could only be suited for niche roles. People talked about her weight, her image, her supposed limitations, and many couldn't see past those superficial markers. Industry insiders and casual observers alike questioned whether she could lead a mainstream movie or play a romantic lead, because they couldn't imagine her outside the narrow box society had mentally placed her in. And yet, behind the whispers and the sideways glances, Gabourey proved her abilities on screen. She brought depth, vulnerability, and complexity to her characters, showcasing a range that was difficult to ignore. Casting directors noted that her performance in Precious was extraordinary, especially for someone with so little prior experience. Still, the gaze of judgment persisted, filtering every opportunity through a lens that often valued appearance over skill. Even with her talent, many wondered if she would be pigeonholed into roles that matched someone else's idea of what she should be. But Gabourey's story is more about persistence in the face of constant scrutiny. Directors and producers who recognized her skill began to offer roles that went against the norm. She landed a part in Yelling to the Sky as a popular high school bully and secured a recurring role on Showtime's The Big C, once again defying the expectations of those watching her every move. Each opportunity became a statement that she could play beyond the limitations others imposed. But even as she carved out space for herself on screen, the scrutiny didn't stop. How has she navigated the ongoing bias that shadows her every move, both in Hollywood and beyond? The ongoing battle against bias. Gabourey Sidibe has never shied away from speaking about the mistreatment she has faced throughout her career, and the experiences she recounts are as stark as they are revealing. From Hollywood sets to high-end boutiques, she has been judged repeatedly, often for reasons entirely beyond her control, her size and her skin color. These incidents are not abstract. They are lived, daily realities that underscore just how persistent discrimination remains, even for an Oscar-nominated star. Gabourey's open confession reached a wider audience in March, when she revealed that screenwriters had crafted roles for her with language explicitly designed to insult her, calling characters hippos and elephants. These aren't isolated moments of cruelty. She has spoken openly about having to block racist trolls on social media, a digital echo of the discrimination she faces in person. Gabourey's new essay for Lenny Letter further illuminates how such prejudice seeps into unexpected spaces, even the supposedly elite world of luxury retail. One particularly revealing incident took place at a Chanel boutique in Chicago, where Gabourey resides while shooting the Fox TV show Empire. Gabourey went to the store to pick up a pair of eyeglasses for herself and sandals for her co-star, Taraji P. Henson. Confidently dressed, carrying a vintage Chanel bag, Gabourey expected a routine shopping experience. Instead, the salesperson's attention was arrested not by her outfit, her celebrity, or her intention to purchase, but by the color of her skin and her body size. Without so much as a proper greeting, Gabourey was directed across the street to a discount store, a cold dismissal born from assumptions about her worth as a customer. It took a few tense minutes for the store's perception to shift, and only when other employees of color recognized her as a prominent actress did the salesperson's demeanor change. Suddenly, Gabourey was worthy of attention. Suddenly, her money mattered. The interaction highlights a troubling reality. Even fame cannot fully insulate someone from snap judgments rooted in bias. This wasn't the first time Gabourey faced such treatment. She recounts being dismissed at a Dior counter in St. Martin, where a saleswoman returned a lip gloss to the display instead of assisting her. In her youth, Gabourey experienced constant surveillance at New York beauty supply stores, relentlessly followed by staff as she tried to purchase basic items. In each instance, no matter her attire or presentation, the assumption lingered. Her body and skin rendered her suspect, not a legitimate customer. Similar incidents have touched other public figures. Oprah Winfrey was refused a handbag at a Switzerland boutique, and fictional portrayals of sizeism like Jane in Drop Dead Diva or Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman mirror these biases in ways audiences understand instinctively. It is a reminder that prejudice can infiltrate even the most controlled and curated environments. Yet Gabourey's response is measured and pointed. She highlights the absurdity of these assumptions. Her ability to dress well, carry herself confidently, or have financial means is irrelevant to those who have already decided she is undesirable because of her body or skin. Her essay ends with a pointed question that cuts to the heart of the issue. Does it matter whether her waist is wide or her skin is black as long as her money is green? The answer is, of course, no. But the persistence of these incidents shows why such questions still need asking. And this scrutiny isn't limited to personal judgments. It extends to how she is represented in the media. How does Gabourey Sidibe's depiction on magazine covers reveal the ongoing biases that frame her differently from her peers? Unequal frames. LA Magazine celebrated its 25th anniversary with 4 separate covers featuring notable women under 25, which sparked controversy, not for including Gabourey Sidibe, but for how she was depicted compared to her fellow cover stars. Gabourey, 27 and fresh off her Oscar-nominated performance in Precious, was featured alongside Megan Fox, Lauren Conrad, and Amanda Seyfried. While the other actresses were shown from the hips up, Gabourey's cover was tightly cropped to show only her head and shoulders. This difference in presentation didn't go unnoticed. Critics argued that the crop minimizes Gabourey's presence and subtly frames her differently from the other women, many of whom conform to traditional Hollywood beauty standards. The controversy intensified because Gabourey, the only African-American actress among the 4, appeared to have her skin lightened in the photograph, a move some see as both racially insensitive and unnecessary. While magazines frequently retouch celebrity photos, observers maintain that altering a black woman's skin tone to appear lighter sends a troubling message about beauty, acceptance, and cultural perception. Elle defended its choices, insisting that Gabourey's photo was treated the same as the others and that each cover was shot to reflect the unique personalities and stories of the women. They emphasized that the issue was meant to celebrate exuberant young women changing the world, and that variations in photography were intentional. However, the defense did little to quell the debate. Media analysts and readers questioned why different treatments were necessary at all, and why Gabourey, in particular, seemed subject to both a restrictive crop and potential skin lightening. Matthew Fleischer of Media Bistro noted that Gabourey's natural skin tone is several shades darker than depicted, and argued that lightening a dark-skinned black woman's image, intentional or not, carries racial implications. It's not an isolated concern. Similar accusations have arisen in past years, with advertisements for celebrities like Beyoncé and Frida Pinto coming under fire for skin-brightening practices. Critics suggest these actions reinforce an industry bias that equates lighter skin with desirability, even subtly, while marginalizing darker-skinned women. And that tension between talent and acceptance sets the stage for another uncomfortable conversation, one Gabourey Sidibe herself stepped into when she addressed the fallout surrounding her precious co-star, Monique. So, when success doesn't translate into support, and speaking out comes at a cost, is Hollywood punishing difference or honesty? Gabourey Sidibe speaks out on Monique drama. Gabourey Sidibe is finally weighing in on the controversy surrounding her precious co-star, Monique, and the claims that the Oscar-winning comedian was blackballed by Hollywood. The dispute began when Monique wrote an essay last month alleging that after her Academy Award win in 2010, she had been shunned by the industry. According to Monique, filmmaker Lee Daniels told her that she had been blackballed for not playing the game. Her essay implied that her career suffered because she refused to conform to certain expectations in Hollywood. Gabourey, who played the titular character in Precious, shared her perspective on the situation on Twitter, emphasizing the love and intention behind the film. She highlighted the heartbreak of seeing a project created with care and dedication tarnished by conflict. Gabourey's statement suggested that the ongoing drama over personal disputes and accusations was overshadowing the film's achievements and its meaningful impact on audiences. Her remarks resonated with fans and industry observers who appreciated her focus on the art and the project's collaborative spirit rather than the controversy surrounding it. Interestingly, Monique responded to Gabourey with warmth and affirmation. She acknowledged that Precious had been made with love and praised the way the film had influenced viewers. In her reply, she called Gabourey "my sweet sister" and expressed pride in the work they had accomplished together, framing the film as a positive force despite the surrounding disputes. The saga gained further context when Monique later clarified her initial claims. She admitted that she was not certain Hollywood had actually turned against her, attributing the narrative to Daniel's perspective on the situation. According to Monique, the alleged blackballing stemmed from perceived slights, specifically that she had not publicly thanked certain producers and the studio during her Oscar acceptance speech. She insisted that her actions had nothing to do with the studio or producers, and that the conflict was a personal misunderstanding rather than a reflection of systemic rejection by the industry. Ultimately, the exchange between Gabourey and Monique offers a nuanced view of Hollywood disputes, one that separates personal conflicts from professional accomplishments. Gabourey's words celebrate the creative triumph of Precious and the positive influence of the film, providing a reminder that even amid controversy, the art itself continues to resonate. Now that she's lost a significant amount of weight and is openly embracing her journey, what are people saying about her new appearance? And how has she chosen to respond to the reactions and commentary that followed? A new pet peeve. Gabourey Sidibe is getting real about something that really gets under her skin: people congratulating her for losing weight. In a conversation with Robin Roberts on Season 2 of Roberts' podcast, Everybody's Got Something, Gabourey didn't hold back. And honestly, her point hit home. She called out how society, especially the entertainment industry, constantly polices women's bodies. "We tell women what they need to look like and what they don't need to look like," she said, adding that the whole thing is deeply misogynistic. To her, those well-meaning congratulations aren't always compliments. They're reminders of how much scrutiny women are under, simply for existing in their bodies. She pointed out the obvious double standard, too. There are plenty of men in Hollywood, fat men, as she bluntly put it, who don't face the same treatment. No one writes long opinion pieces questioning their health. No one accuses them of secretly promoting unhealthy lifestyles while they're out promoting a movie. That pressure, Sidibe noted, is almost exclusively aimed at women. Her message was simple and sharp: mind your own body. Sidibe, who shot to fame after her powerful breakout role in the 2009 film Precious, knows firsthand how invasive public commentary can be. In that film, she starred opposite Monique, who won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for playing Precious's abusive mother. Ever since Sidibe's appearance, rather than just her talent, has been a constant topic of discussion. She described it as the weirdest thing in the world when people congratulate her for losing weight. "You don't need to congratulate me on it," she said. "You don't congratulate me every time I blow my nose. I needed to. It's in my body." For Sidibe, weight loss isn't a public achievement or a performance for others. It's a personal, physical reality. What really bothers her is the sense of entitlement people feel over her body. People want to feel like they have some sort of ownership over your body, even though you're a stranger, she explained. And that feeling only gets worse when you're recognizable, famous, and constantly in the public eye. What do you think about Gabourey's weight loss journey? Would it reduce the stereotype she has faced in the past? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it.